Talk about truck driving shortage. It's funny. 24 years I've been driving a fucking truck. Yeah. 24 years I've been conned by these trucking companies. All the trucking companies are nothing but cons. They give you the hype. They tell you what they want to tell you. They lie. They lie about everything they say just to get you to drive for them. Then you have to. Then they force you. If they teach you how to drive. Then they force a contract onto you for 1 year, so you can pay off the tuition that you took to driving school at. Trucking today. Truck driving is not worth it anymore. You know. Do you really want to stay out 2, 3 months at a time while your fucking dispatcher's home every fucking day? You know, working 5 days a week, and then they rotate. Depend on the long hauls, they rotate on the weekends. The dispatchers, they work. It's funny. You know, when the dispatchers leave, it's like they leave exactly the time they're off. When I was with the with the larger company, it's like they come in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they leave exactly at 4 o'clock, and then you got the night shift that takes over. You have to deal with their stupid ass, and they have all the trucks all at one time. Yeah, trucking is not worth it. You know. Yeah, for me, I have no choice because I can't. I don't see myself working in a regular job at all. I don't see myself working in a regular job because I'm so used to working seven. You'll be working 14 hour days. Getting up between 12 midnight and being home between 5 and 6 o'clock, or maybe later. And only time you can leave if you're doing some jobs, like your only time you can leave is when your boss says you can leave. You know, because they need to pick up a box that needs to be that's been in the you know depending how long the box has been sitting, or how long the load's been sitting. And then sometimes in some jobs you'll be sitting for 2, 3 days with no loads. You're waiting to get a load, because it's slow and all that stuff, and you don't make no money at all, you know. And then when they start you out, especially they love new drivers because they're cheaper to pay. They love brand new drivers. The newer you are, the cheaper they pay, the more profit they get from you. From using you. You know. Now it's kind of funny. Now they want the experienced driver, and most of the time these big companies they don't pay experienced drivers enough money to drive for these people. For big companies, they don't pay enough. If they want experienced drivers, they should pay them for what they're worth. You know. So you have to ask yourself: is trucking company worth driving? Is it worth your life? Is it worth staying out 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months? You know, is it worth it? Do you really? Do you really want to miss life? Do you really want to miss life? As a truck driver, because when you drive a truck, time just goes by fast. You lose you lose a lot. For me, driving truck, I think I missed 10 years of my life. Driving a fucking truck, because these people all they care about is your profit, and your dispatchers get to go home at regular times. Sometimes it's like when I look at my dispatcher, I'm sick of looking at them. You know, I'm sick of looking at them sitting in the chair, talking on the telephone. You know, just to find me a load to go somewhere to do something. You know, I'm sick of working. You know, trucking. We're allowed to work 70 hour weeks. So you could work sometimes. How I used to run. I used to drive 2 months out and take a weekend off. you know, try doing that. 2 months out and take a weekend off. Do that for about 2 years. You know, when your teams is different. You get to talk to people. When your teams, it's and staying out 2 months is easy when you're teams. You know. But if you do local, you don't get time and a half when you're local and trucking industry. Talk about breaking the law. Trucking industry that makes up their own laws, and they break their own laws. That's the way it works. Here you have a fucking poster saying anybody who's working over 8 hours get time and a half. Not in trucking companies. They pay you straight time. Sometimes they pay you by the trailer. Don't work for, if you're going to do local, don't work for a company that pays you by the trailer or pays you by going in internal and taking a box, pay you by the box, because you're being scammed there. And some companies, only best companies to work for is a union company, because they make up all the fucking rules for us truck drivers out there, and that's how we got the electronic logs. That's why we got electronic logs, because of unions. Now the unions don't want to use electronic logs. They want to get a waiver, since they're the one who put us through the shit. The FMCSA bullshit. The point system. The point system. I think the FMCSA is designed to get rid of all the bad truckers. Now all of a sudden all these companies are begging for truckers, even though they're going by the FMCSA. FMCSA is the whole reason why there is a driver shortage. Yeah, FMCSA is the whole reason why there is a driver shortage in the trucking industry, because they're weeding out all the bad truckers. You can't find a good truck driver out there. You can't find a good truck driver out there. Now it's gotten to the point, it's getting really stupid. It's like now you're under electronic logs. Now you're being monetized. Now they're putting cameras inside the trucks. There's a company that they know down here that has cameras inside their trucks. And they're going to put cameras all over you, and they're going to monetize you now. So trucking's gotten really retarded. And I have to obey these fucking stupid rules. It's really stupid to play by their fucking rules. You can't relax in trucking. If they give you something that you can't do it. You got to tell them that. If you can't deliver that load, you can't deliver that load. If it's too dangerous to drive, it's too dangerous to drive. You got to tell these fucking dispatchers that. No matter what the weather is, or how the weather is, or how the traffic is, and how people are. Don't let these dispatchers pressure you. Because these dispatchers, they will pressure you. They'll push you limits. And you'll be fighting your dispatcher sometimes. And when it comes to fighting your dispatcher, they don't give a fuck about you. All they care about is their quota, so they can make their bonuses. You know, so the maternal managers can make their bonuses, and you only get a little certificate saying thank you very much. You know, you get a $25 or $150 $25 cookies for your saying thank you very much, and you're making all the profit for your fucking big boss. You know, to maintain the equipment. Yeah, I can understand how the cost of maintaining all the equipment on this big huge trucking company. But yeah, you know, I've been conned and scammed by every trucking company. I've been with almost 24 trucking companies, and every one of them treated me like shit. You know, treated me unfairly, ran me too hard. You know, I quit. And most of the majority of the trucking company I walked away from. I quit them because they don't know how to treat drivers fairly. You know, they won't bring you home. You know, most of these trucking companies, especially the big ones, they will not bring you home. They'll lie to you and say you can't bring you home, even though they got thousands of millions loads on their load board. They can bring you home easily if they wanted to, but their objective is to keep you out. The more you stay out, the more profit they make. You know, you know, trucking today is not worth it. You know, I hope to me, I hope the autonomous trucks take over because I don't want to drive a truck anymore. I want to fucking take a fucking life vacation away from this bullshit job that I do every day. Yeah, trucker shortage. There's gonna be a lot more trucker shortage. The way these people treat their drivers. You know, the way these warehouses treat their drivers. You go to a warehouse and all you and you see fines, if you don't do this or you don't do that. So the warehouses themselves are a big scam, especially in the food industry. You know, the food industry is the biggest scam. You know, for truckers. Truckers have to pay out of their pocket for to unload the trucks. They give you a choice: either you unload the truck or you pay in between like $50 to all the way up to $500 to offload a truck. You know, and they give you a certain time limit to offload the truck. Some places you got till 12 to 1 o'clock p.m. Then you gotta come back tomorrow, the next day, to finish offloading the rest of your truck. Talk about being scammed. You know, look at the port. The port. They chart. They fine you if fine you for a certain amount of money, like two, three, $400 for for misplacing a trailer or something. And they don't keep track of their own trailers. They keep track of them now. They don't even take care of their own trailers. The port does. They got shitty ass They got shitty ass chassis, and they got shitty ass people who put on shitty ass tires in the port. You know. It's funny about that. It's like they don't give you the best shit. The trucking industry, the warehouses treat you so unfairly. You know, they pay for the load, and you have a choice to unload or pay a lumper to offload the trailer. What if you drove for 10 hours straight just to get to? I mean, drove 8 hours straight to get to the customer, and then the customer tells you, "Are you going to unload the trailer?" You know, I've been to situations like that where they give you tell you they're gonna make you unload the trailer, physically unload the trailer, or you pay a lumper. That's it, and then you got a certain time to unload that trailer. You talk about fucking cold hearted fucking assholes in the food industry, you know? Yeah. Yeah, the warehousing for truckers are ridiculous, especially in the food industry, you know? Because food industry, they'll fine you for anything, for any stupid shit, you know? And it's funny about their docks in the food, in these food companies. They design it for the electric carts to they have docks like this, and they don't want you, and they ask you if you want to unload your truck, and you can't unload, and they give you a hand jack to offload a trailer with the docks like this instead of smooth docks. You know, you talk about a scam. You know, I was in North Carolina one time. I asked them, they gave me a hand jack. I was going to offload the trailer myself because it was pretty easy to do, but till I offloaded the trailer, the docks were like this, and I couldn't get it all out. And then only people that can offload they wouldn't let me use electric jack to take the shit out. You know, only the lumpers allowed to have the electric jack, not the fucking truckers. You know, truckers can't have the electric jack. They have to have a hand jack, the push jack to pull the stuff out. And some of these pallets are over 1,000 pounds, so they want you to use a hand jack. So that's another scam they're doing in these food warehouses, you know? Yeah. Trucking is nothing but a fucking scam. From trucking to the warehousing, to the brokerage, you know, to the company itself, you know. Each one of these people are sucking money out of you no matter what. They're sucking every penny out of you. I don't know how. Sometimes I don't believe how you can survive in a fucking industry like this. You know, you have to be lucky enough to find a job that pays you pretty good money. You know, I mean, it took me 24 years to get to where I was at, to where I'm at now. You know, I was making average between starting out. I started out making 15,000 a year. No, 15 to 20. No, 20,000 a year, and then I kind of gradually went up to 30, like I say in my other job, and then all of a sudden I went back down to 20 again, and then all of a sudden I went up to 50, 45 to 50, and then when I went back down to 45, and then up in the 60s now. It's like, yeah, if you go union, you could get. I guarantee you get 100 grand. You join the union easily. But it's like, yeah, trucking is nothing but a big fucking scam. You know, unfair treatment of drivers. You know, no matter what, you're going to be treated unfair from the government side and the company side. You know, they're all looking at. I mean, the whole point of the industry is it's all about money. You know, you get fined. Now it's like these people who develop the laws the truckers never even voted one time. So these people did it on their own. They never, they never, they never asked the truck drivers. You know, the government never asked the truck driver about these laws. You know, they just did it on their own. You know, it's not about the people in the trucking industry. It was never about the people in the trucking industry. It's about the government and the corporations. You know, you were just a stupid ass fucking truck drivers that play these fucking games. You know, yeah. Driver shortage. People, you young generation, don't go to trucking. Fuck trucking. Let it die down. You know, let these fucking companies beg, cause they don't pay you enough. when you start out, you don't get paid enough. You get paid like McDonald's wages after all the hours you drive. You drive 70 hours and your average pay is lower than McDonald's. You know? You make McDonald's wages driving truck, especially the long haul people. Actually, yeah, if you calculate all your hours that you work, you make less than McDonald's wage. That's the way it is in the fucking trucking industry. Yeah, driver shortage.